Hi everyone, this is a little map that I have done to explain some out there concepts to myself, basically. so, yeah, when you're thinking in terms of the human in the vessel, you're thinking in terms of the mind, body, and spirit, that complex that is existing within us all. So, this is the same sort of pattern, but in a, I guess, a greater sense, in a different perspective or a higher perspective. Just a different perspective, really. A different vibration of the same stuff, just my unique expression of it. So, um, this map is sort of what it is showing. It's coming from the perspective of the One. It's coming from the perspective of existence itself, creation itself. So, this is how I sort of explained it to myself just from my experiences thus far. So, for me, the none, the nothing, it's the void, it's the unmanifest. There's nothing going on. It's like it's from this place. It's from nothing that everything came into existence. It's like the Big Bang. From nothing, from within the void, everything came into existence. Existence has merged itself. So these two arrows going down here are showing, from nothing came the one and the all. But remember, this is all existing as one at the same time. This has always existed. This always is. So, and the human experiences these states. You know what I mean? The none, the one, and the all. They can experience these states, but for most, they're very still they're locked and identified in their lower mind. So these kind of perceptions are not perceivable. But it's only once you shift into the higher mind, into the one mind, realizing that it's one consciousness that flows through all, that we are fragments of the source, of the one creator, experiencing itself in these little vessels, whether they be humans or animals or plants. We are all of those. And when you can unify yourself, you will come to that realization and you will be able to see the flow of the one mind, one consciousness in all. So this map, this sort of diagram is coming from the perspective of existence itself, and just sort of breaking it down, teaching my little human over here and trying to understand what's going on with me. So the nothing we have here, these shapes are just, so I can fit the writing in really. So it's just a little diagram. These are just concepts, take it or leave it. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I mean? I'm still learning and growing, and I'm just doing this to teach myself, really. So if all the other me's can learn at the same time, wonderful, because I'm learning right now. Okay, so we had nothing. From nothing came everything. So simultaneously created the one and the all. Okay, so we'll just break it down first. So from nothing came something, so there was nothing. It was just the void, there was nothing, the unmanifest. And then something happened. Something became aware of existence, that it exists. So that's the one that became aware. It's the first split, you could say. If we're breaking it down, the first split, the first separation from nothing creates the separate being, a separate awareness. Let's call it the one. So from nothing comes something and everything, the Big Bang, so to speak. Okay, so he's the one that went, oh my god, I exist. You could say it's the first I am presence. Because it is aware. It's aware. It's like, oh my god, I exist. Here I am. Wow. There is something going on. You could say it's the first experiencer on some level. It's experiencing itself. It's become self-aware. So if you can imagine existence itself or God itself, before anything there was nothing, and then everything came into existence. So first, from nothing came something, that became aware of itself. So it's like, oh, okay, here I am. Oh, wow, I exist. It realized that it exists. It is aware. So then what? Then what happens? So then it decides to create the all. It creates something because it's all alone. It's got nothing to do. It's all bored by itself. It's like, oh, here I am, I exist, but what's there to do? So it then creates existence itself. It creates everything. So it needs to play because it needs to experience itself because it's bored. It's got no friends. It's all by itself. The one is all here. It's just aware. It's aware it exists, but there's nothing to do. So it creates the all that is creation of existence itself. It needs to create something to play in, to experience. So it's the all that it creates. The all. It creates the universe, all the planets, all the galaxies, all the animals. And remember, this whole thing is the one. From nothing came everything. So all at once. This whole thing, this triangle here, the source, the creator, the one, this is all three of these all together. It is this. It is this. It is this. This is the one. It is a trinity. We are a trinity. And experienced in the body as the body, mind, and spirit. In the vessel, it's experienced as a body, mind, and spirit. So the first steps are realizing this on the lower levels. You have to unify your trinity to realize you are infinity. So basically, you need to unify your trinity. So you need to first come out of your mind, first come out of your lower mind. There are other maps for that. But you need to first come out of your lower mind. Then you come out of your body, so to speak. I'm just talking about awareness, perception. You shift your awareness by clearing your lower mind, all your baggage, all your issues, all your identifications, everything that keeps you limited. Then you come out of all those, you get rid of all your limitations, but then you also have to come out of the loving part of your mind as well and disidentify if you really want to keep progressing. You have to completely disassociate in a way. You have to lose your ego, dissolve your ego completely in order to be completely free and realize this, like you're the mind, body, and spirit. That's just the first level. But then as your awareness increases and you start exploring yourself universally and galactically and throughout these different levels of awareness, through your experiences, will teach you and show you. But yes, so it's from that kind of level or that kind of perspective, I should say, that this map is from the one mind. So remember that this is one being. This is you. You are the mind, body, and spirit, but you are also the one, the all, the none. So the all. So if the one is the awareness, so it knows it exists, so it creates everything, so it can play in itself, because it is existing. It's aware that it exists. Because as nothing, it's nothing. It's not even aware. It's the unmanifest. It needs to create the one to experience itself, to be aware of itself. And then it's got nothing to do. It's got no friends, so it needs to create. Split again, because it initially splits into two. This is the initial split into duality, you could say. And it splits into the masculine and the feminine, the one and the all. So the one, it's the doer, it's alone, it's the big ego, the first I am presence, you know what I mean? Because everything that's not this is all ego. You know what I mean? Because we're actually all nothing. But don't get stuck in the nothing, don't get stuck in the void. A lot of people do. You know what I mean? But then some people get stuck in the one, thinking they're the I am present, it's the I am present, blah, 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 blah. And some people get stuck in the all, just trapped in all you do is just channeling or just, you know what I mean? It's actually the balance of all three. Because you can do the channeling, you are the I am present, you are that one mind that can tap into everything. You know what I mean? You're the one mind, you're the one mind that can tap into the all, because you created all this. This is all you. And when all this becomes too much, you go to the nothing, to the void, to rest, the unmanifest, where nothing exists, where you just still, where there's nothing even going on. It's not even still. You just not even you don't even exist. It's just the nothing. In a way, you could say it's spirit. Called what spirit? Spirit's nothing, really, isn't it? It's just the energy that flows through all. This is spirit. It flows through. It permeates all three of these. This is all. This is all spirit. This is presence. This is the awareness. Presence, awareness. So you can see how it splits. It's a triangle here. It's connecting all three. It's the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, the body, mind, spirit, whatever Trinity concept you want to use that works for you, good. You can use these and mix it and match it and make it work for you. You know, so this is the masculine, the doer, the warrior, the masculine energy, because obviously it wants to do something, so it creates everything. And this is the beer. This is the feminine. This just is, and it just bees, it just supports the all, the creation itself, so the doer can experience it. So then we've come down here, created all the creation itself, and then we can jump in. So this source jumps in to all these different little creations. And here we are down here. Oh, we're a planet. Oh, look, we're a little physical body all the way down here. Little physical body, and we think that's all we are. We are just trapped in this little mind, the body and the mind. You mean the limited little mind. We forget we are all this. And even when we get out of this and we start coming out, people get out of their mind, but then they get stuck into one sort of section. You mean it's about the balance of being able to flow between all these. So as an awakened individual, you have to realize that you are this, because you are. You are all these. These have to be unified. The Trinity concepts help catalyze the self-realized human. It helps brings you into that self-realized state, that balanced state, no more up and down. So when an individual can get to this level of awareness within themselves, what does this mean? It means that they can tap into any of these aspects, whether it's the one, so the one mind, which is also all the minds, because it's the fragments of the one mind. So all the minds, it's all the minds over here. So everyone. So in our reality, it would be, you know, your little social group when it's going on. You just know. There's a knowing. There's a sense, but it gets even deeper. There's a complete and utter knowing, because everything is you. There is no separation. With this conceptualization, you know that there's no separation between you and anything. You are all that is. You are all of it. And when you realize that, it can really open your world up. Your imagination is your limit. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to imagine anything. Things just operate through your imagination. It's happening to you. Things happen to you. Everything's just happening, really. And you will perceive this as your awareness increases. These things will come into your own awareness. So when you're aware of these things, you can tap into, channelers can tap into the all, into other planetary bodies, other solar systems, other galaxies, other universes, and their other bodies. So, because they've developed their light body, so they can travel, so to speak, into these other dimensions or densities and play, because they realize this. They've in some way in themselves somehow realize that they are all that is. They've gone through these concepts within themselves. But this is only perceivable when you really drop the ego.